So good morning dear cadets. So as usual we are in the P block elements, okay, group number 16, and yesterday I promised you that today I will teach you the allotropic forms of sulfur. So you know what do you mean by allotropic form of sulfur? In the group number 15 already I have explained, again I have written different physical form of same element having same chemical property but different physical properties. This phenomenon is known as allotropism, and different physical forms are known as allotropic forms. Okay, so as far as sulfur is concerned, sulfur is having three allotropic forms. The first one is rhombic sulfur, or that is also known as alpha sulfur. Second one is monoclinic sulfur or beta sulfur. The third one is a plastic sulfur or delta sulfur. Okay, so just try to understand. In phosphorus also how many allotropic forms were there? Three: black, white and red phosphorus. Similarly here also three allotropic forms are there: rhombic sulfur or alpha sulfur. Rhombic sulfur is the most stable. Second one is the monoclinic sulfur or beta sulfur. Third one is the plastic sulfur. Remember, rhombic and monoclinic sulfur are crystalline form of sulfur. What are they? They are crystalline form and their structure is puckered ring structure. Monoclinic and rhombic sulfur, they have got the puckered ring structure, crown shape. Already I taught you in the physical trends of 16 group. What is the crown ring shaped or puckered ring structure? Plastic sulfur is not true solid. It is amorphous form of sulfur. Plastic sulfur, last one. This is also known as delta sulfur. There is one more newly discovered form of sulfur is there, that is known as cyclo S6. Cyclo S6 is newly discovered form of sulfur having chair structure. What is their structure? Chair structure. Last year when I was teaching you the confirmatory structure of cyclohexane, that time boat form and chair form I taught you. So the same way this sulfur cyclo S6, it has got chair like structure. So the one thing you should keep in mind, monoclinic and rhombic sulfur, they have got the puckered ring structure, while the newly discovered form, that is cyclo S6, it has got the chair structure, chair shaped structure. So this is all about the introduction of allotropic form of sulfur. Now as far as allotropic forms are concerned, you know they are different in terms of physical property. In terms of chemical property, they are similar. So one by one, I will teach you the physical properties of rhombic sulfur, monoclinic sulfur, plastic sulfur. And at the end, I will teach you the transition temperature. There is one temperature at which both form, rhombic and monoclinic, both coexist together. And here upper side I wrote rhombic and monoclinic sulfur have puckered ring structure, which I have already explained. Okay, so one by one I will deal with all the three allotropic form of sulfur. So dear cadets, now the physical properties of rhombic sulfur. One by point wise I have written so that you can get all information at the same platform. So just see, rhombic sulfur, it is the most stable form of sulfur. Okay, most stable. Second one is, it is prepared by slowly evaporating raw sulfur with CS2. So with the help of CS2 it is prepared. You should also write point wise only, so that the remembering the things become easy, and as and when you recall it can be retrieved. Okay, so it is insoluble in water but soluble in CS2. Okay, low electrical and thermal conductivity. Its melting point is 385.5 Kelvin. It is found in S8 molecular form. It is found in S8 molecular form. It forms puckered ring or crown shaped structure. Puckered ring or crown shaped structure. Bond angle is 107 degree and bond length is 212 picometer. Means bond length means between sulfur and sulfur. bond length is 212 picometer. So this is all about the physical properties of rhombic sulfur. The next one is beta number is monoclinic sulfur. Monoclinic sulfur. So next one is, dear cadets, monoclinic sulfur or beta sulfur. So just try to understand, it is prepared from rhombic sulfur. Okay, alpha sulfur was prepared from roll of sulfur with the help of CS2, and this is prepared from rhombic sulfur. Okay, it is crystalline form of sulfur. What is this one? It is crystalline form of sulfur having molecular form S8 and structure puckered ring or crown shape. Rhombic sulfur melted and cooled till crust is formed and holes are made. Liquid is poured out from the holes and cooled to get needle shaped structure called monoclinic sulfur. It is dull yellow in color. It is soluble in CS2. Melting point is 393 Kelvin. It is insoluble in water. Just try to understand. Of course, rhombic and monoclinic sulfur both are forming the puckered ring structure, but there is a difference in the symmetry in their structure. So in terms of symmetry, they are different. So just try to understand here. It is the theoretical concept. Try to understand how monoclinic sulfur or beta sulfur is prepared from the rhombic sulfur. What is there? Just try to understand. First of all, rhombic sulfur is melted and cooled down till the crust is formed. Crust means one layer above the liquid. Okay, so when layer is formed, means a crust layer is formed and small holes are generated. So with the help of those holes, you pour out the liquid and that liquid further cool down. So when further it is cooled down, needle shaped sulfur will come out in the form of crystal. So that is monoclinic sulfur. Okay, another, it is dull yellow, it is soluble in CS2, melting point is 393 Kelvin, it is insoluble in water. So previous one was also insoluble in water. Okay, the most important thing is the transition temperature. What do you mean by transition temperature? Temperature at which both allotropic forms of the elements coexist, that is known as transition temperature. So just see the two crystalline form of sulfur, that is monoclinic sulfur and rhombic sulfur. These two are the crystalline forms of sulfur. So try to understand, there is a one temperature, that is 369 Kelvin. At 369 Kelvin temperature, this rhombic sulfur or alpha sulfur, monoclinic sulfur or beta sulfur, both forms coexist. Now try to understand here. Below this temperature, below 369 Kelvin temperature, rhombic sulfur or alpha sulfur is stable. Above this temperature, already it is written, just you pay attention towards this arrow, just see which is the sign. This is the sign 369 Kelvin. So less than this temperature, rhombic sulfur or alpha sulfur is stable. Above 369 Kelvin temperature, above, this is the sign of above, monoclinic sulfur or beta sulfur is stable. Now this side I have summarized. Alpha sulfur stable below 369 Kelvin temperature. Beta sulfur stable above 369 Kelvin. At 369 Kelvin, both alpha and beta sulfur coexist. Hence it is transition temperature for them. Transition temperature. Okay. So in this way, your beta sulfur is also completely completed. Now the last form is plastic sulfur or delta sulfur. So now plastic sulfur or delta sulfur. So it is not a crystalline form, it is an amorphous form of sulfur. It is prepared when molten sulfur poured in cold water. Poured in molten sulfur when poured in cold water, then rubber like form and it is only plastic sulfur. So what is the, how it will be prepared? Molten sulfur should be poured in the cold water, okay, then plastic like structure will form, that is only plastic sulfur. It is soft and elastic and gets hardened on standing for some time. So if you leave it for some period of time, so it will be hardened, but original structure is soft and elastic. It has no fixed melting point. You know the amorphous form of the substance is not true solid, and true solid only has got the fixed melting and boiling point. Since it is not a true solid, that is why its melting point is not fixed, and it is super cooled liquid, just like a glass. Glass is also super cooled liquid, plastic sulfur is also super cooled liquid. It is insoluble in water also and CS2 as well, okay. So just see, unlike those two forms which are soluble in CS2 but insoluble in water, this is insoluble in water as well as in CS2. So next form is cyclo-S6. This is newly discovered allotropic form of sulfur. So it forms chair like structure. This is chair like structure. Just see, 1 2 3 4 5 6, okay, these are the chair like structure of cyclo-S6. It is also called Engel's structure. What is this one? Engel's structure. So it is artificially synthesized. So unlike them, this is artificially synthesized. So this is all about the different allotropic form of sulfur. Now there is the one question, try to understand. Crystalline sulfur, their molecular formula is S8, and crystalline form of sulfur is dimagnetic, but vapor form of sulfur, that is form above 1000 Kelvin temperature, that is paramagnetic. Why? So just you remember, last year I taught you the molecular orbital diagram of oxygen. So just see, the paramagnetic character of oxygen can only be explained on the basis of MOT theory, molecular orbital theory. Similarly here, the paramagnetic character of S2, that is the vapor sulfur. S8 is crystalline form of sulfur. S2 is the molecular form of vapor sulfur. Their paramagnetic character can also be explained on the basis of molecular orbital theory. So just see, in molecular orbital theory diagram of oxygen, pi 2px and pi 2py, they have got the unpaired electron. Because of those pi 2px, pi 2py antibonding unpaired electron, oxygen molecules is paramagnetic. According to valence bond theory, oxygen molecules is dimagnetic, but in real practice, oxygen molecules is paramagnetic. So to explain the paramagnetic character of oxygen molecules, molecular orbital theory is taken into consideration. Similarly, to explain the S2 vapor sulfur paramagnetic character, molecular orbital theory is taken into consideration. So you should fill the molecular orbital diagram. Then what you will see, 3px and 3py antibonding orbitals, their unpaired electron is there. Due to the presence of those two electrons, S2 sulfur, vapor phase sulfur, is paramagnetic. So dear cadets, just see, whatever I told just now, I have summarized here. S8 crystalline form of sulfur found at room temperature. It is dimagnetic due to presence of paired electron. Okay. What about this one? S2 vapor form of sulfur found at 1000 Kelvin temperature. It is paramagnetic due to the presence of unpaired electron in pi 3px antibonding and pi 3py antibonding molecular orbital diagram. This is the molecular orbital diagram of sulfur. Just see, first S, 2s, Now 2p6 I have not made the orbital diagram, otherwise it would have suit up. Okay, so place would not have been available for the explanation of the orbital which is necessary, that is 3px, 3p-pi and 3pz. That is the only important thing here. Just see, 3px, 2 electron is there, 1 electron you fill here. Okay, remaining 1 electron of this one fill here. In this way, this is x is completely completed. Y 1 electron and this y 1 electron you fill here. So this y is also finished. Now in z, 3pz and 3pz, 1 electron is here. Pi 3px anti-bonding, pi 3p by anti-bonding. 1 electron is present here, anti-bonding orbital. So just see, S2 vapor form of sulfur is paramagnetic due to presence of pi 3px anti-bonding and pi 3p by anti-bonding 1 electron each unpaired. Means, are you getting my point? In this orbital, 1 electron is unpaired, 1 each. That is why they are paramagnetic. They are means S2 is paramagnetic. There is no need to make the molecular orbital diagram. That this sentence is enough. Okay. If you will make, so it will take a lot of time, since some of the people, means one section people I have not taught last year. That is why I have made this one. Okay. So this is the the explanation of paramagnetic character of S2 vapor form of sulfur. So once again, S8 is stable at room temperature, vapor form is stable at 1000 Kelvin temperature. Okay, S8 is diamagnetic, S2 is paramagnetic. Finished. Now compounds of sulfur. The first compound of sulfur is SO2. So dear cadets, don't think that I have explained that paramagnetic character of S2 that is out of syllabus. It is there in NCERT book and there is one question also. And one of the year, I am forgetting the year, they have asked that question. Now compounds of sulfur. The first compound of sulfur is SO2. Okay, sulfur dioxide. Okay, what is the oxidation state of sulfur here? +4. So the preparation of this one is very easy. Just see. I am not teaching the laboratory preparation. The normal preparation is when the sulfur is treated with O2, then what is formed? SO2 is formed. But there is a problem. With the help of, this is oxygen from air. Try to understand, in the preparation of SO3, 6 to 8% SO3 is also formed. So the formed SO2 is not pure here, it is impure. Okay, so try to understand, the better preparation is laboratory preparation. So in the laboratory, how? Laboratory preparation. Just see, in the laboratory, SO2 is prepared with the help of copper turnings. This is copper turnings. Okay. Now it should be treated with concentrate H2SO4. So what is formed here? Now CuSO4 plus SO2 plus H2O will form here. Okay. So you can balance the reaction also. Write down here 2. So 8 oxygen is there. So 4 to the 6 and this one. Okay. Now it is balanced. So now sulfur dioxide gas is formed here or not? SO2 is formed. This is the laboratory preparation, copper turnings. There is one more way to prepare this one. Just see, Na2SO3. This is sodium sulfide. It should be treated with conc H2SO4. Concentrate H2SO4. So what is formed here? Na2SO4 plus SO2 plus H2O will form. Again here 2H2SO4 is there. Now it seems that H2SO4 is here oxidizing agent. If you want to write the step by reaction, you can write in this way. Just see, this conc H2O, H2SO4 dissociate into H2O plus SO2 plus nascent oxygen in the step number first. In the second step, this Na2SO3, this nascent oxygen means this Na2SO3 take up that nascent oxygen and form Na2SO4. Just see, this nascent oxygen is cancelled out. Now you can balance the reaction. Reaction is also balanced. Now just try to understand here. Now note down here, Na2SO3 plus conc H2SO4. Here what is the product? Here H2O plus SO2 plus Na2SO4. Okay, so just try to understand here. 4 2 6 7 oxygen. This side 4 3 7, 2 is not here. Okay, so just see, this reaction is also balanced. In this way also you can write. So this is the laboratory preparation. You can remember this one. There are some sulfides of some heavy metals. Heavy metal sulfides like PVS, HGS, okay, ZNS. These are heavy metal sulfide. When they are treated with oxygen, okay, sulfide as sulfide ores. There are two processes of treating the ore with the oxygen: calcination and roasting. Calcination and roasting. So roasting is done for the sulfide ores, and for rest of the ores calcination is there. And you know what is the difference between calcination and roasting. So when they are these heavy metal sulfides treated with oxygen, then what is formed here? Just see, Pb plus SO2. Here what is there? Hg plus SO2. Similarly here Zn plus SO2. So just try to understand here. They are oxides, HgO, PbO, ZnO plus SO2 is formed. Balance the reaction also. Just see, 3 oxygen is there. So just you write here 2. Okay. So here also you have to write 2. So 2, 4 is there. So I hope that it is balanced now. No. 2. Here also 2. So now 2 to the 4, 6. Now write down here 3. Everything is balanced. Same way here also. Just write down here 3. Write down here 2. Write down here 2. Here also 2. So just see. Everything is balanced. Yes, everything is balanced. 2 to the 4, 6 oxygen. Same way here 2 ZNS, 3 O2, 2 ZNO and 2 SO2. Now everything is balanced. This is also one of the method of preparation of sulfur dioxide gas. But the laboratory preparation is only the method by which we can synthesize the SO2 gas in the laboratory. This is sodium sulfide. What is the name of this one? Sodium sulfide. What is the oxidation state of sulfur here? Plus 4. 3 to the 6 minus 2. And what is the oxidation state of sulfur here? Plus 6. This is sodium sulfate. This is sodium sulfite. Okay. SO3 2 negative 1. SO4 2 negative 1. This is sulfate. This is sulfite. Okay. So this is the laboratory preparation. What next comes? The next thing is here the physical property of SO2 gas. So the physical property of SO2 gas is, number 1, it is soluble in water. It is soluble in water. I will rub this side and will write physical property of SO2. Physical properties. The first one, it is soluble in water. It is soluble in water. What is the next one property now? Second one is it is pungent smelling, colorless, pungent, colorless, colorless, pungent, pungent, and suffocating odor, suffocating odor gas. It is heavier than air. It is third one. It is heavier than air. So it will be collected by upward displacement of upward displacement of air. It is collected by upward displacement of air, and it is acidic gas also. It turns blue litmus red. It is acidic gas. Here only you can write fourth number. It is acidic gas because it turns blue litmus red. Another important thing, it is oxidizing. It can be used as a oxidizing agent as well as reducing agent. Just try to understand. This can also be explained. Just see. In SO2, what is the oxidation state of sulfur? In SO2, what is the oxidation state of sulfur? Just see. SO2, the oxidation state of sulfur is +4, and sulfur maximum oxidation state is SO4 2 negative. What is the oxidation state here? +6. So +4 to +6, it is undergoing oxidation. It is undergoing oxidation. Hence, what is this one? This will be reducing agent. What is this one? Reducing agent. Okay, reducing agent. Now SO2 can be converted into S2 negative also. Just see, there is one compound H2S. What is the oxidation state of sulfur here? -2. Okay, so +4 to -2. It is undergoing reduction. It is undergoing reduction. So since it is undergoing reduction, hence it is a oxidizing agent also. Oxidizing agent. So SO2 is the compound of sulfur which can be acted as a oxidizing agent as well as reducing agent. Okay. So most of the time SO2 is a reducing agent only. Okay. So these are the some physical and chemical properties of the SO2 gas. Okay. And as far as the chemical property of SO2 gas is concerned, we'll tell you tomorrow. Okay. Thank you very much.